Welcome everyone. Feels good to get back on the Wolverine again. This is a bike that I built 6 months ago or so. In that time I put on about 500 miles or so, maybe a little bit more. Done 1 century on it. That was July 4th weekend. And in between, a lot of fun rides. Thought I'd take a moment to tell you about all the components that I've used. Talk a little bit about the frame. Just some quick thoughts about it. It's just gonna be a kind of an easy ride. I got my coffee sitting here. Truth be told, this is my second Wolverine build, and we'll get all into it in just a moment. But first I just wanna say, hey, my name's Joe. I love adventure, things on 2 wheels. Hello. People are looking at me like I'm crazy because you can hear me talk a lot more than on the motorcycle. Speaking of which, this channel is an offshoot from my main motorcycle channel. I have about 6,000 subscribers on the motorcycle channel. And if you come over here from there, welcome. If you're new here and you're interested in cycling and other adventures, welcome as well. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do so. Got a lot of cool things coming on this channel. Of course, bikes, bike building, but also lots of camping, lots of canoeing. In fact, we're doing a canoe build right now, and I'm in the process of recording all those videos and editing them. Hopefully I'll be able to get those out to you soon. And if you're over here interested in bicycles and you have any interest at all in motorcycle adventures, head on over to the Great Egret channel. Got a link above, link below. Let's get into the Wolverine. So Soma classifies the Wolverine as a MONSTERCROSS bike. I first heard that term about 5 years ago and didn't know what the heck it was. And I'm still a little bit confused about it. It just seems like one of those terms that you need to apply to something just to make it sound a little cooler than it actually is. That may or may not be true. Get up this hill so I'm not breathing so heavy. By definition, what a MONSTERCROSS bike is a cross between a cyclocross bike and a 29er mountain bike. Whoop. That's a pretty good definition. Basically what I see it as, a drop bar, wide tire, go anywhere bike. I could have fun on the pavement just as much as I can have fun on the single track. I could go across the country and tour on it, or I could commute to work on it. It's basically the adventure motorcycle of the cycling world. Truth be told, this is my second Wolverine build. I built a V2 in early 2016. That was a fun build. This V3 is similar to that. There's a few differences. I'll highlight those probably in another video because there's a lot of confusion over the different versions, especially between the new version 4 A and B. That definitely deserves its own video. The best thing about the Wolverine frame is the geometry. It's well suited for balance. I like to describe it as the perfect placement between the extremes of cycling. You're not going to be able to rip it up on single track with this bike, but you'll be able to ride down it. You're not going to be able to cruise along as quickly with your roadie buddies, but this bike, it can do it. It's that perfect balance. It kind of fits my personality. That's why I like it so much. What I really like about it, and the reason I bought it and built a bike with it, is its versatility. This thing is a true mutt, and that's a really good compliment. There's 29er Wolverines, there's 650B Wolverines, there's Jones Bar Wolverines, there's Wolverines with drifters, cyclocross Wolverines, touring Wolverines. How many times am I going to say Wolverine in this video? There's even a split seat stay. So if you wanted to build a belt-driven Wolverine, that is a possibility. With or without an internally geared hub. So this bike is extremely versatile. So it's a pretty good frame for really cheap compared to some other options. Yeah, it's steel. And steel is one of those things you either love it or hate it. The drivetrain that I built for this bike, I really dig. Start with the crankset and bottom bracket. So I have the White Industries R30 and the White Industries bottom bracket. 30 millimeter spindle, 30 millimeter bottom bracket, obviously. It's lightweight, it's strong, and super expensive. Other than the looks, what I like best about it, it's the variable bolt system, which allows me to use a lot of different chain rings. I got a 2x10 set up on this bike. So right now I'm running a 46-26 chainring tooth configuration. It's an absolute dream. It allows me to climb the hills in that 26 tooth chainring. Allows me to ride fast in the flats with the 46. It's also a mullet setup. I have an 1140 cassette in the back with a SRAM GX rear derailleur. And you may ask yourself now, wait, that doesn't seem right. You got a road bike, but a mountain bike derailleur. This is what you call a mullet drivetrain. Drifters in the front, mountain bike in the back. Setting up this configuration is kind of confusing. You need to do a lot of research to be able to do it. And I actually have a video on that. Got a link down below and up above. The only challenging part about a mullet configuration is if you're not knowledgeable about indexing, it can be a challenge to adjust it because it can get out of whack a lot more easily than a regular setup. But once you get it, it's pretty easy to make it work. I got a pretty wide range. I don't actually remember my range. I'll flash it up on the screen here. And I describe it in that video that I linked earlier. Get warm. Take these goggles off soon. Getting back to channel stuff in a little bit, like I mentioned, this is an offshoot of the motorcycling channel, and I've got some big plans with both channels. Like a lot of us, we can't wait till 2021 starts and 2020 ends. So one of my goals for this channel is to ride this bike a ton. I figure I want to ride about 8 miles a day on average. And if you do the math on that, over the course of a year, that equals about 3,000 miles. So I'm going to use this channel to hold myself to that. Well, I'm not going to ride 8 miles every day. On average, I'm going to ride about 8 miles a day. And I'll have some weekly updates on this channel with that. And of course, follow me on Strava to see if I'm actually going to do that. I kind of slacked off a bit in 2020 with the bike. Haven't been commuting to work, so I haven't been riding as much. Used to ride 15 miles round trip to and from work. I'm also gonna shed 2020 by shedding this beard that's on my face here.